Zeros of polynomials. Polynomial comes from poly, which means many. Nomial means term. A polynomial is an expression that is made of many terms. This is an example of a polynomial. A quadratic equation is a type of polynomial equation of degree 2. This is called the standard form of a quadratic equation. Let's practice by factoring this quadratic. First, using the standard form of quadratics, find b and c. b is -4 and c is -12. Next, find unknown numbers m and n that when multiplied together equal c or -12. This is a list of all numbers m and n that when multiplied equal -12. Take the m and n pairs and add them together. You're finding the pair that equals b or -4. Once you add all the pairs, only -6 and 2 equal -4. You've found m and n, so plug -6 and 2 into the parentheses. It will look like this. The final answer is the quantity of x minus 6 times the quantity of x plus 2. In this example, you want to find the zeros or x-intercepts of the quadratic equation. First, factor the equation. Find two numbers that when multiplied equal -5, but when added together equal 4. These are the combinations of numbers that when multiplied equal -5. Next, add the pairs and find the one that equals 4. So 5 and -1 are your numbers. Put them into parentheses to get this factored form and set y equal to 0 since you're finding x-intercepts. To find the zeros, set each parentheses equal to 0. You have 0 equals x plus 5 and 0 equals x minus 1. Now solve each equation for x. For 0 equals x plus 5, subtract 5 from each side. The 5 will cancel out on the right side. X equals -5. For 0 equals x minus 1, add 1 to both sides of the equal sign. The -1 cancels out on the right. X equals 1. The zeros are -5 and 1. You will use this method when the coefficient a is greater than 1. Step 1, using the standard form, identify a, b, and c. A is 3, b is 5, and c is -2. Multiply a and c. 3 times -2 equals -6. Now, find two numbers that when multiplied together equal -6, but when added equal b or 5. These are all the possible combinations of two numbers that when multiplied equal -6. Add the pairs and find the one that equals 5. 6 and -1 are the numbers. Go back to the original equation and replace 5x with the 6 and -1. You will get 3x squared plus 6x minus 1x minus 2. Group the first two terms and the last two terms. 3x squared plus 6x are grouped together. -1x minus 2 are grouped together. Find the greatest common factor of the first group and factor it. Break the first term, 3x squared, into its factors, 1 times 3 times x times x. Break 6x into all its factors, 2 times 3 times x. Find the numbers they have in common. 3 is the only number they have in common. There is an x in common. Factor 3x out of the first pair, and you'll have 3x outside parentheses and x plus 2 in parentheses. You'll do the same for the second group, -1x minus 2. Find the factors of -1x, which is -1 times x. Find the factors of negative 2, which is negative 1 times 2. Find the numbers they have in common, which is just a negative 1. Factor negative 1 out of the second group. You'll have negative 1 outside of parentheses and x plus 2 in parentheses. Put the factored groups side by side and factor out the greatest common factor. It will look like this. The only expression that doubles is x plus 2, and this is what has to be factored out. You'll be left with the quantity of 3x minus 1 times the quantity of x plus 2.